Every winning piece in the McDonald's Monopoly game was supposed to be random. For 12 years, none of the big ones were. You remember the game. You peeled the little stickers off your fries box and your large drink. Maybe you needed Boardwalk. Maybe you told yourself the $1 million prize was out there somewhere, waiting for someone lucky. And that was the deal America believed. The game was fair. The odds were long, but real. Somebody, somewhere, actually won. Here is what they didn't tell you. From 1989 to 2001, virtually every major prize, the cars, the cash, the $1 million jackpots, went to one man's hand-picked friends, relatives, and criminal associates. His name was Jerome Jacobson. He was a former police officer. He was the head of security for the company that ran the game. And over 12 years, he and his network stole more than $24 million, one game piece at a time. This is how he did it, and how the FBI finally caught him. Start with the job, because the job is the whole story. Jacobson worked for Simon Marketing, the firm McDonald's hired to run its promotional games. Simon printed the pieces, Simon controlled the prizes, and Simon needed someone to guarantee the high-value winning tickets couldn't be stolen or leaked before they hit the fry boxes. That someone was Jacobson. The fox was hired to guard the henhouse, given a badge, and told to walk the henhouse alone. The security procedure was built around trust in a single man. The most valuable winning pieces were kept separate from the ordinary ones. Jacobson was the only person authorized to transport them to the printing plants. They traveled in tamper-proof envelopes, sealed under the eyes of an independent auditor, so no one could open them in transit. It was a tight system. It had exactly one flaw. The one man watching the pieces was the one man nobody was watching. Then came the seals. By Jacobson's own account, the whole scheme began with a supplier who handed him a batch of the anti-tamper seals, the very stickers that were supposed to make the envelopes impossible to open undetected. Suddenly, Jacobson could break a seal, remove a winning piece, and re-seal the envelope as if nothing had happened. On paper, the security held. In reality, it was gone. He would excuse himself. He'd slip into an airport bathroom, open the envelope, palm the top-tier winning ticket, and walk out with $1 million in his pocket. Then, he needed people to cash them in. This is where it stops being clever and starts being strange. Jacobson couldn't collect the prizes himself. A security director winning his own game would raise a flag on day one. So he built a network of winners. He recruited a sprawling cast, family members, a Mormon family, small-time crooks, connected men with ties to the mob, even a psychic. He'd hand over a winning piece and demand a kickback, a cut of the payout, in cash. The recruits would fly to McDonald's, smile for the promotional photos, and hold up the oversized check that America thought was random luck. Think about what that means. Every heartwarming local news story about a lucky winner during those years. The single mom, the retiree, the regular guy who beat the odds. A great many of them were staged. The luck was manufactured. The whole thing was theater. And it ran for over a decade because nothing looked wrong from the outside. The prizes were being claimed. The paperwork balanced. McDonald's had no reason to suspect that its flagship promotion, the game that pulled millions of extra customers through its doors every year, was a rigged machine feeding cash to a private club of insiders. What finally cracked it wasn't an audit, it was an anonymous tip to the FBI. An informant told agents that the game was fixed and named Jacobson at the center. The Bureau opened a case and they gave it a name that fit the era perfectly. They called it Operation Final Answer. a nod to "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?", the quiz show catchphrase everyone was repeating that year. The joke had teeth. These millionaires were fake. The FBI ran wiretaps. They recorded Jacobson and his recruits arranging pieces and splitting the money. They mapped the network out from the center, from the man in the airport bathroom to the people cashing his stolen tickets across the country. Slowly, a scattered list of lucky strangers resolved into a single criminal conspiracy. On August 23, 2001, it went public. The FBI and McDonald's held a joint press conference and announced that 21 people had been charged in the scheme. McDonald's, blindsided, insisted it had been a victim, not a conspirator. The fraud had happened inside the contractor it trusted. To prove it, the company launched a real, unrigged giveaway to win back the public. The fallout hit everyone. McDonald's fired Simon Marketing immediately. Losing the McDonald's account gutted the firm, and it collapsed. But Simon turned around and sued McDonald's for terminating the contract. And in a twist almost no one saw coming, Simon won a substantial judgment over the lost business. The company that ran the rigged game walked away with a payout of its own. And Jacobson, the mastermind who stole more than $24 million over 12 years, he was sentenced to 37 months in prison and ordered to pay $12.5 million in restitution, roughly 3 years behind bars, for rigging one of the most famous games in America. For 12 years, the McDonald's Monopoly game had no real grand prize winners, not one. Every million-dollar smile was arranged in advance by the man paid to keep the game honest. That's the part that stays with you. The security wasn't weak. The envelopes were tamper-proof. The auditor was real. The whole system was designed to stop a thief. And it worked perfectly against everyone except the one man it handed the keys to. The fraud didn't beat the security. It was the security. Millions of people played fair against a game that had already been decided. They peeled their little stickers off, needing boardwalk, chasing odds that at the very top were exactly zero. If this one got you, we've got a whole shelf of frauds hiding in plain sight. Subscribe, and the next one's already waiting. A former cop rigged McDonald's Monopoly for 12 years and stole $24 million. And yeah, that's real.